Tulare, California is where we are, and you know, I'm from Oregon, and we got a guy here from Texas, and we meet at places like this, World Egg Expo.
That's right.
Steve Pretz from GEA Farm Technologies. Thanks for joining us, Steve.
Thank you very much for
You
having
had
us.
congratulations on being one of the top 10 products here at World Egg Expo. This is the Dairy Pro Q.
That's correct.
And this is the first time that anybody here in North America has had a chance to take a look at this, it sounds like.
That's right. A big farm show in Europe is called Eurotier, and we are awarded the top prize at Eurotier, so we're very honored to be one of the top 10 innovations here at the World Egg Expo.
So the Dairy Pro Q is a robotic milking system. Can you maybe tell us a little bit more specifically what this is?
Yeah, really robotic milking, particularly in Europe, has been very common now for nearly 20 years. And the average size of a farm that uses robotic technology is about 78 cows. About 90 cows in the US, but worldwide its average is about 78 cows. And in the US, 2% of the producers produce over 55% of the milk. So our vision was to take that type of technology and bring it to these larger commercial farms.
Yeah, you know, that's the sign of the times, it looks like, you know.
Yeah.
And what are these larger farms doing right now that they, you know, don't have something like this? I mean, it might be chomping at the bit, huh?
Yeah, you know, we had a great group. We had a kind of a pre-show opening with some select customers and dealers here at the show. Beautiful weather last night. And it's like one of them said, you know, feed prices go up, feed prices go down. But I can never recall a day where we passed a labor wage reduction law. That continues to escalate.
Yeah, you know, obviously you have to have the proper management to implement something like this, but the labor is always an issue. And does it really relieve that? I mean, the headlines that we hear on things like that?
Absolutely, and that was our goal. We started out working with U.S. dairy producers in the United States about what their needs and desires were, and one that was absolutely crystal clear is that speed of milking and capacity could not decline. That basically automation needs to work at the same level of speed as a fully manned operation, and we've achieved that.
Now the Dairy Pro Q, this is more for a large herd, right?
That's correct. I mean, we make sizes down to 28 stalls, which are very common in Europe. Of our first 7 projects going in there, 3 are 28 stall, but we see here in the United States will be 60, 80 stall configurations be very common.
When we talk about fully automated, you know, consistent, you know, milking process, is that basically what we're talking about here?
Right, right. And really, besides the labor, that's the big redeeming feature. What we like to say for the cow, the good life's the boring life. And we want every experience for the cow, whether it's 2 a.m. or 2 p.m., to be exactly the same every day. And it's not only labor savings, which is important, but also process control and milk quality is what we really see with Dairy Pro Q.
So after milking, is this an automatic detachment and back flush?
Correct. Everything in the milking process, we call it no compromise milking. You don't have to give up anything in your milking routine that you already have. No changing in feeding, how you manage groups, how you manage reproduction. It's just an automated milking center. So we attach in a single attachment, we call it inliner everything. We wash, sanitize the teat, stimulate, strip, discard that early milk. Then we go into the milking process where we measure milk quality by quarter. Of course, milk yield, everything to do with the milk. Dip the teat and then take the unit off.
Well, when we're talking about, you know, some special needs cows that are involved in the herd, how does this Pro Q play in that?
Well, that leads to overall farm management. Certainly no machine milks every cow. And anyone out there that's in the cow milking business knows some are more difficult than others. And when you automate the process, you really appreciate what a man can do.
Sure.
So those what we call non-conforming cows generally go through one string, so you deal with all your problems at one time, maybe the last string that you milk. then everything else is quite easy from there.
So you're easy, perhaps convenient.
Yeah.
You've got your control panel with the LED lighting
Right.
and all that.
Right.
It's not that intimidating. It sounds like if you're.
That's right. And when you see the machine, I think it's easy to say, gee whiz, look at all this technology. It's so complex. But really, the basic pieces are the stock and trade, long duration products that we've had for many years. Pulsation, milk metering. The new thing is automating that attachment process, and we've been doing that for a long time in conventional robotics.
And something I'd be concerned about would be downtime and for servicing, and how can GEA Farm Technologies help with that?
Well, that's a great comment, because in the focus groups, that's also something that was loud and clear. 24-hour-a-day operation, or as we like to say, 27/8, 27 hours a day, 8 days a week. But they need to be able to service it, so we have a system where an entire module can be replaced on the deck and serviced in less than 20 minutes, plug and play operation. But we use what we call a drawer concept, where the service items basically come out in a drawer, you exchange it with another drawer, and then all the service is done offline.
All right, easy enough. Well,
Yeah.
Steve, Pretz,
All
thanks
right.
for joining. The Dairy Pro Q is here at the showgrounds at World Egg Expo. This is the first time ever in North America, this robotic rotary milking
That's right.
parlor.
That's right.
It'd be really neat to see if you want to check it out. And if people can't make it here to the showgrounds, you go to your website or something?
Yeah, you go
or-
to YouTube, put
Yeah.
Dairy Pro Q on there, and the way I like to think about it is, it's such a big change. When we're old and in the old folks home, we'll talk about when people used to milk cows with people.
That's not too far off, is
No,
it?
we had a great customer that had been here since the 50s. Of course, he remembers hand milking and bucket milking, and that's the kind of change we have today.
And it's fast accelerating. Well, thanks, Steve. Appreciate it.
All right, thanks a lot.
That's Steve Pretz from GEA Farm Technologies.